Okay, I can't remember if I told you or not, but once again, the orientation. Orientation is portrait or landscape. So let's move on. Okay, what kind of documents might be in portrait? What are the best documents for portrait? And what are the best documents for landscape? Let's see where that question is. Just a minute. Let's pause. So once again, what kind of documents might be in portrait? What kind of documents might be in landscape? Pause for a minute and answer that question. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is margins. Margins. Let's take a look at the margins. Let me bring this up. So here are the margins. And look, we're still in the layout things. There's home, go to layout. And we have margins here. Look at this. So if I click on this is normal margins. Normal margins about 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch from the bottom. Now I want to change that margins to narrow margins, half an inch. So I click on narrow margins and there we go. I can fit more hellos on one. Oh, almost. Let me make the font smaller. Let me highlight these and go to home and make it less than, let's see, 48. Okay, 48. If the margins are narrow, let me go back to layout, margins. If they're narrow, you can fit 4, but if I go to normal, you can fit 3. There's bigger margins here. So margins, normal, margins, narrow. Okay, let me see. Margins, wide margins. I never use this, but let's see. Yeah, they're very thick, wide margins. Let me go back to narrow. Okay. So that is margins. There's one more thing I need to show you is custom margins. Okay, so click on custom margins, and then where is it? Custom margins. Now I can make the top half an inch, the bottom half an inch. Let me change it to 0.9 inches and see what happens. Oh, it's not a valid margin. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to use a quotation mark. Okay. 9 inches. Okay. Yeah, now this goes a little bit further down. So I can set the custom margins. Margins, custom margins. Left, let's put 1 inch. 1 inch. Okay. Yeah, see, now I've got 1 inch space here. So you know what? I would just go back to, look at this. It remembers my custom setting. That shows you how often I use custom setting. Let me go to normal. Okay, now it's normal. 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. All right, I have a couple of questions. What is it called when you change the direction of your document? It's called orientation. And what orientation do you see here? Okay, it's called portrait. I keep mixing them up. How do you change the orientation from portrait to landscape? You click layout, orientation, landscape, and there it is. If you want your margins to be smaller or larger, what do? You go in here. Oh, I shouldn't say it already. Go in here and make them smaller or larger. Okay, smaller, larger, and even smaller, half an inch. The next thing I want to talk about is saving a document. So we've done margins, we've done portrait and orientation. So let's do saving. When you want to keep a document for a long time, you need to save it. When you save a document for the first time, you will need to find Save As. Bring that up. Go on to the File menu and click File, Save As. As you save, notice there are 3 things. The file extension. Okay, we're about to run out of time. Let me take this to the next video.